let's see what this looks like when I'll be able to see it when I'm inside. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Bryony and I'm one half of the Indecisive Readers. Today it is halfway through July, so we are into the second half of the year, which is mad because nothing has happened for like 4 months. But anyway, I just thought it would be fun if I look back over my goals from the first half of the year, see if I've achieved them, see if I had any plans to read any books, and yeah, just thought I'd do it. And then next week I'm gonna do a blog post and come up with some new goals depending on how these do. So I will link my original ones down below, but I had 16 kind of bookish goals, and the first was to read 50 books. Now, like I said, it's the 13th of July and I have, you are allowed, you're meant to be in lockdown. And I have already read 72 and I'm also halfway through, well, partway through another 6, so hopefully I'll be finished with them soon. So yeah, way over the original goal. I have already pushed up to 100. I don't know whether I'll do that again, but yeah, I've already achieved it, so that's fun. Next, my goal was to read more variety, specifically more non-fiction classics, graphic novels, LGBT+ books and books by marginalised authors. So I have actually read 7 non-fiction, which I didn't think I had, but apparently I have. 1 classic, I didn't love it. 10 graphic novels, which is great. I read, how many? 8 in the first month and 2 since, but they've been really good. And I have read 11 LGBTQ+ books, but I've been trying to buy more, so I have more on my TBR. Likewise with marginalised authors, I hadn't read many at the start of the year, but I think I've read like 4 in the last kind of couple of weeks, which is because of everything that happened with Black Lives Matter. I was trying to read more books that would support them. And I have since brought like 3 or 4 more by black authors, which is great. I've also read 1 book by a trans author that I'm aware of as being trans, so there might be more. I don't know. So loud. My next aim was to do with my romance readathon. I wanted to read more romances because I hated them and I wanted to learn why. There's a cat coming and look at him run. And I did read that for all of January. I read all romances or books with big romances in. Are you coming to help me? I liked half of them. I haven't read many romances since, but did read one last month and it was really bad and I hoped I was gonna love it, so that was a shame. You gonna come and be my friend? He's such a love. My next aim is to read some of my owned TBR before buying new books, and apparently I had 47 books on my TBR at the start of the month, and I'm pretty sure it's like now up to 60 something, so that one's going. But on a similar note, I did also say if I wanted to buy new ones, I'd get them from a local bookshop or from Hive, and basically not from Amazon. That's not comfortable for you, is it? And I have done that. The ones I've got, I think I may have brought 1 book. No. He's kicking the tripod. I think I may have brought 1 book off Amazon and the rest have all been off Hive because my local bookshop is shut. Again, on a similar note, I wanted to borrow books from the library if I wasn't sure if I'd like them, or buy them secondhand, and obviously I can't be doing charity shopping at the moment for some reason, but I have borrowed like 26 books from the library, and that's including ebooks and audiobooks. I've recently like really got into audiobooks, and my library has been great for borrowing them because they actually have a lot of, I would like to point out I got interrupted and wobbled there because he decided to lick his butt. But yeah, I've got a lot of ebooks and audiobooks because my library is very good at having like up-to-date ones, which is great. Oh, you're grumpy. Another aim I had was 2 DNF books I wasn't interested in. I have not done this. I haven't had many bad reads. I've had a couple of 2 stars, and that's because I was disappointed by them and I haven't DNF'd them, but I was very angry at them a lot of the time, and I probably could have DNF'd them, but I wanted to see what was gonna happen. That's my whole problem, so maybe I'll have to continue that one. Then I have to start or continue a book journal. I started it, I haven't continued it, but I have since recently got an iPad, and I'm hoping to do some of the like digital book journaling on there, because I'm hoping I can just like create a template and fill it out every month rather than having to make one and get frustrated by it not being in straight lines or it taking up too much time. So hopefully I can do that one next half of the year. Then I've put better at scheduling and writing in advance, and specifically on Instagram. So I still don't post loads on Instagram. I posted more in June, but like this month I've done maybe 2 posts, so I need to get back on that. I think if I come up with some prompts, I'll be better at doing it, because that's why I was good at doing it in Butterfly in June. I am better at scheduling. I have stuck to a schedule like all the time. I don't think I've missed it yet. And my next goal was to write more reviews, and I'm better at doing that. I'm making sure I'm doing a review and a discussion every week, but I am not writing in advance. And then get a job. So lockdown, everything has shut. Well, everything's opening up again, so now I'm starting that up, but I was like that close to getting a job. Then I've got to write, and I am writing more actually. I'm currently writing, well, not currently, but I'm writing more at the moment because there's like a mini NaNoWriMo thing going on, so I'm like trying to do that a bit. Then go to more book events. Wow, isn't that a kick in the teeth? I did actually go to one in March, I think, with Sam, but yeah, they're not on at the moment. Then in terms of the blog, I wanted, well, both the blog and the channel, I wanted 50 subscribers or followers. I had 20 to 25 on the blog at the start of the year and 38 on the channel, so like I was really hoping we were going to reach them, and obviously I would have been disappointed if we didn't, but I wanted to set it as a low standard so then I wouldn't be disappointed if we didn't. And then related to that, I have interact on more posts and videos. I did this for maybe the first couple of weeks and then forgot, which isn't good of me, so I need to do that some more, and also redesign the blog and channel. So instead of going through the books that were on that same post, I'm going to go through some more goals I came up with halfway through the half of the year, which was when we went into lockdown. So I had some to do with the channel and blog, and the first was create a logo and a YouTube banner. So I'll stick them on the screen because I do have one for each. I created a logo that was a pile of books with kind of different genres in it. There's a dragon, there's a fairy, there's a spaceship, and we have that in a YouTube banner, and we also have like all our contact details. Then I wanted something for the end of the posts and also an end screen, because we had an end screen and we also had a YouTube banner, but they were quickly created by Sam when we first started this up, and they just kind of were basic. They worked, but they just didn't kind of show what I wanted, and I'm really pleased with them now. I'm still not 100% sure on like the blog's look, because again it was quite quick, but we're nearly there, hopefully. Then I also wanted to post bonus content on the channel. So at the start I was doing like a cat video every week or bloopers, and I've only obviously got so much footage of that, but I am now doing a vlog or something a week and a normal video on a Saturday. So I am currently doing a vlog or something on a Wednesday and a normal video on a Saturday, and then 2 blog posts. And I'm sometimes struggling with the extra content, but we're alright for the next month, so that's fine. But if you've got any more ideas, please let me know. I wanted a consistent upload on the blog, which we're doing, and I still wanted to write posts in advance, and yeah, that's not working. I also wanted to subtitle all my videos. I was doing it for a while, then fell out of the habit of doing it because I wouldn't upload them in time to like render them and get the ones you could just edit, and so it would take me a while, and I talk a lot, so they take me a while anyway. But I would like to get back into the habit of doing that, and maybe like go back and do some past ones. But if it's a video I like hope more people are going to watch, I always make sure that there are subtitles on that. In non-bloggish terms, I had a couple of creative ones. One was to learn to use my sewing machine. That broke within about 5 minutes of turning it on, actually. We've taken it to a sewing machine shop, so maybe in the next month I'll get it back. I also wanted to paint more things. I'm still painting my copy of PRIORY. I will put a picture here, and I love it, but that's kind of all I've done. I've also painted some edges to books actually, and I wanted to paint normal things, but yeah, haven't done that. I also wanted to write my LGBT plus romance, which is the thing I'm working on. It's about a demisexual woman in her 30s, or a woman in her 30s who discovers she's demisexual and falls in love. And I hope it's cute. I don't know how far I'm gonna get, but I want to finish it because I just never finish projects. Other things, I wanted to relearn British Sign Language, hasn't happened, and understand tarot cards, also hasn't happened. So in terms of books, I had 9 books I wanted to read definitely in this month, and I'm going to go through them. So the first is Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepnes, the author of You, and it's the sequel to You. I haven't read that yet. Then there's Son of the Shadows by Juliette Marillier. I did read that. That was one of my disappointing reads. I read it last month as well. Then Physics by Angie Sage. I have read. It's the 3rd book in the September Heap series, and it was a reread. Then Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen. Haven't read. Then The Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. I have read. I have read all of those in the sequel. Then Pretending by Holly Bourne. Haven't read. Is on my Kindle. Queen of Coin and Whispers by Helen Corcoran came out like 2 months ago, and I still haven't got it. It has been on pre-order, and they only sent it out last week, and I'm like watching the door, waiting for it to turn up. And then there's The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty, which came out last month. I got it early actually, but there was just too much on my TBR, so I haven't got to it yet, and it's quite chunky. Then the final one I have on my list is The Bone Season Book 4 by Samantha Shannon. At the time we didn't know what the title was. The title has now been released. It is called The Mask Fallen, but it's not coming out till next year, so I won't be reading that anyway. So I'll just say what my 3 least favourite books I've read this year so far have been. And one was 10 Things My Cat Hates About You by Lottie Lucas, and the other was Son of the Shadows by Juliette Marillier. I have already mentioned it. The other one, well, hang on, I rated this one 2 stars, but I didn't expect to like it, so I wasn't disappointed and have just blocked out my mind. But that was Mixtape by Jane Sanderson. It was a romance in my romance readathon, and what's that water coming from? It was in my romance readathon, and I hated it because it was like a romance, but about these 2 people that were both in a relationship and cheating on each other, and I'm like, don't like that. But I have read so many good books. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot harder to kind of narrow down my favourite books to 5 books. But I have included On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. This was one of the graphic novels I've read, and it was so good. That month I also read The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics, which was a romance kind of set in the Regency era, but with feminism, and so good. Speaking of feminism, we also have The Meat Market by Juno Dawson, which is about the modelling industry and how bad it is. Then we also have The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, which is the first non-fiction I've chosen to read, and it was a really good introduction to non-fiction, and I loved it. And finally we have The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, which was a middle grade, and the first middle grade I have like absolutely loved. I have read a lot of books by women, as you can tell by both those lists. I apparently don't read anything by men. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed me just looking over my goals. I decided not to do the mid-year freak out book tag thing, but I might do it on the blog. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I just thought I'd check in, say hello, and look back on the year. not that we've seen a lot of it. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think my goals should be for the next year. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hi. Grump.